Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and welcome to This Week in WoW for the week of June 4th. As always, we will get started with the Mythic Plus affixes for the week, and this week we have Tyrannical, Afflicted, and Bolstering. Again, that's Tyrannical, Afflicted, and Bolstering. Coming off what is perhaps the easiest week of the season, we now have what could possibly be the hardest week of the season with the Tyrannical, Afflicted, and Bolstering lineup. Nothing much positive to say about this particular setup here. Just again, for pug groups, this is going to be a rough week. You just had a really good week. Now, luckily, there is some other stuff to do if you pre-ordered or if you get lucky with the War Within beta, which we'll be talking about in this video later. But yeah, this is not going to be a very fun week for pugs or whatever. However, for myself, I've mostly just been doing a bunch of +6s, trying to get my aspect crest, because that's all I really need, and because I'm not rating Mythic, just shot in the dark to get a high eye level piece from the vault or whatever that I still need, and so therefore, just trying to aspect crest out all the stuff that I do have already, and kind of just have my gear set to go into the next expansion. So, not a great week here with Tyrannical, Afflicted, and Bolstering. Let's go ahead and talk about other stuff going in the game before we jump into talking about the beta. We do have the Darkmoon Fair going on this week. Same things as always. I always mention it because I always promote it, and I always want more. I want them to develop it more because I think it's just a really cool thing in game that they never wanted to put into the forefront because it's kind of like silly in some ways or whatever. But it's really cool place if you want to do like achievements, you want to farm mounts, you want to do this stuff, and it's like evergreen content. And especially if they update it and add new stuff that's cool to it. It could truly be that evergreen content. So you do have the Darkmoon Fair going on. You do have Time Walking with Cataclysm going on, kind of fitting with Cataclysm Classic being launched here recently. We have the Cataclysm Time Walking going on if you want to play some Cataclysm on the retail version of the game. And then later in the week, we do have this Thousand Needles Boat Bash thing. This is not a mind-blowing event or anything like that, but I will say I always mention these little holidays and if they're worth doing or not, and this is one that's like worth doing one time. I would say, like, if you want to go check it out, you're like, oh, that's kind of cool or whatever. But again, these things are just not quite developed enough. They don't want to put too much coolness behind stuff like this, I feel like, but I think it's cool to have like these little events that have cool things to them, because that's how you get people to go to it, right? Like, you don't have a party, right? Let's just do a little analogy here. You don't have a party and be like, oh, but we're not going to have anything to drink. We have tap water out of the faucet. That's it. There's nothing to eat. Bring your own food. Also, no music. Like, you have to have a reason to go do something, right? Or else no one's going to come. And it's the same thing for these little events. And if you kind of like put fun, like have like fun stuff to do, or minorly fun stuff to do, it's not going to be as fun as a new raid or something like that. I have like this minor fun stuff to do and put some cool rewards with it, and people will go do it and they'll experience it together. And any fun that is there, they'll have more fun because there's more people there. It's kind of like the cooking thing, right? Where everyone shows up and does the soup, and everybody kind of has fun doing the soup because it's silly and because there's thousands of people there doing the soup, and that's why it's fun. And you could do the same thing with like these type of little events. But that's enough of soapbox for the Thousand Boat Bash, I guess. But yeah, that's kind of where I stand on a lot of these holidays, though. And so I think it is important to say that. But of course, the biggest news this week is on the 5th, the War Within beta will be starting up, and you can get invited to it just by opting in. I did a little video on this. It's just random, though. But if you always get invited to the beta, maybe there's a good chance you still would. Just naturally, you go opt into the beta on the website. Just click opt in. Does it real quick. No hassle there. But if you did pre-order the Epic Edition of World of Warcraft, not the collectors, but the Epic Edition, you will get your access immediately on June 5th. So as soon as it comes out, you should have access to it if you pre-ordered that. There is some issue with the Collector's Edition ordering. I'm not going to defend Blizzard on this. I will say it's a confusing and a hard thing to deal with regarding this issue with the collector's edition versus and honestly, I should have did a video on it. I don't have the reach, but like I should honestly like try to talk to somebody that has like way more viewers and stuff like that, because it is kind of an issue when you're delivering a physical copy versus like this other one and the way things are. So what they actually would need to do is they would actually need to go in and find every order of the collector's edition, find their account, and then be like, okay, we're also gonna just give you this access to beta, and it would be a pain in the ass. Now they should do that still. Okay, I'm not, like I said, I'm not here to defend Blizzard. They still should do that, but they really just need to change the way that they do the collector's edition thing in the future, because this isn't the first time this has been an issue. I feel like it gets forgotten about and stuff like that. This is just the first time where it's guaranteed you access to the beta, but there's been other issues in the past that weren't like as obvious as this, and it's because the way that they do it, right? It's versus selling a physical product, going through a distributor, sending a physical product to someone's house, versus just flagging an account for something. And obviously the flagging account thing is much easier, and but they need to have a way where when you buy the collector's edition, the account gets flagged, right? And so they basically just need to make that connection, and because they don't, they would have to like manually do it, and that's why it's an issue. And I could do a whole video on it probably. It's not to defend Blizzard, it's just to say that they need to like update and get with the times kind of in this way, to have a way where the account gets flagged for buying that digital copy even though they bought the more expensive collector's edition. And so that's actually why I didn't wait for the collector's edition and buy it, is because I've had issues in the past that were not this obvious. And if I want to get the collector's edition, I'll get it later or something. But yeah, if you did pre-order that, and you can still just pre-order it and then get the access as well. You know, it's definitely a way to boost sales and all that kind of stuff, all that kind of slimy stuff. But I will say there is a good thing about it too, because a creator like me who doesn't have contacts at Blizzard, like there's no guarantee that I get into the beta. Like I got into the Shadowlands beta and was able to do a ton of feedback and a ton of rat theory crafting in the Shadowlands beta, and then I didn't get into the Dragonflight beta. So for me, having guaranteed access to it is very good. For anybody who watches my videos, it's very good. Like uses my videos for their Ret Paladin stuff. So there are positives to it, but obviously it's also a cash grab and all that stuff too. And like I said, I'm not here to defend anything. It's just kind of just presenting facts the way they are. So yeah, very excited for that. There'll be a lot of content coming from that on this channel. I plan on being on, basically taking the time that I've been setting aside for Mop Remix and playing every day and putting that into beta and just doing something every day and, looking into things that interest me and that fits my channel and stuff like that, and just doing content for it, man, because I'm very excited for this and excited to just, have what probably maybe 3 months even of like this beta to play around with things and hopefully get things right. Or have things in the right direction for the parts of the game that I care about the most at the very least. Obviously, I want the whole game to go in a good direction, but, I can only focus on so much. So, yeah. One last thing, I won't put this in like every video, but maybe this week in WoW videos, which are kind of more subscriber-based videos for the most part. I did just start a Patreon account. Now, by no means should you feel any pressure or need to do so, but if you want to, the link will be in the description. You can go there if you want to show some love in a financial way, but as always, just clicking subscribe is actually a great way to help me out for my channel. So if you can't do that or whatever, and you can just click subscribe, that's also really, really cool. But if you can do both or whatever, then the link is there. And I'm hoping when I thought about it, when I started setting it up, what I kind of hope to get out of it is kind of like a community, because I have some people that comment on a lot of videos. I love commenting back with them. I know the names, I've seen them enough times, but it'd be cool if we kind of like had like a little bit of a community going, I think. So that's a big part of it for me. And just like a fellowship, right? That's probably the best way to put it. I think that'd be pretty cool. So yeah, that's going to be it for this one. As I already asked to subscribe if you could, and everybody have a good one.